Dear friends, welcome to Learning About. In this video, I'll be solving the numerical ability questions from previous year papers of DFCCIL. So DFCCIL, the latest recruitment they have announced for 1074 vacancies across different departments like electrical, civil, also like across different levels like junior manager, executive and junior executive. In this if you look at the junior manager and executive, so there are out of total 124, there are 24 questions in part 1, of which the reasoning and general aptitude, that is a numerical ability, and the reasoning part you can expect about 12 to 15 questions. And when it comes to junior executive and executive operations in BD, it will be like double, almost you can expect around 30 questions from the numerical ability part and the reasoning part. And the reasoning I've already solved. That video is up in our channel. The link to that video is given in the description below. You can make use of it. Now in this I'll be solving the numerical ability part. And so in numerical ability, you can expect questions from these titles that you see on the screen right now. And so last as far as the last session is concerned, I found more questions in time and work, and then like percentage related stuff like percentage, profit loss discount, interest calculation, there is the simple interest, compound interest, like proportionally there were more questions. Okay, also there are good number of questions from numbers and numbers related stuff, and which includes like even the simplification part. So here what I have done is I have taken about 11 questions in this for this video, and which is like from I have not repeated any particular topic. Okay, so without I'm trying to give as much variety as possible of questions that you can expect. Okay, so as you know, there are negative marks for wrong answers. So negative marks is like 1/4 the negative mark, that you know. And also please remember there is a qualifying marks for different categories depending upon the category that you belong. So 40% for the unreserved category, 30% for the scheduled caste, OBC, NCL and EWS, and 25% for the scheduled tribes. Now let's go on to the questions. Now the first question, we have a simple interest question. So we can use the good old formula for simple interest. Simple interest is equal to principal into number of years into R by 100. So here what is given, at 5% simple interest, the amount grows to 504 in 4 years. The same at 10% simple interest per annum, 2.5 years will grow up to what? So we get principal plus principal into number of years, in the first case is 4, and 5% rate of interest. Now this is equal to 504. So let us try to get the value of P. So 5, now this is 20, now 4, this is 5. So we get P plus P by 5 is equal to 504. So we get 6P by, now this will lead to 6P by 5 is equal to 504. So 5, now this is 84. So P is equal to 84 into 5, that's 420 rupees. Okay, so the principal is rupees 420. Now what is asked here? The sum, okay, the amount, okay, where this 420 plus a 10% interest for 2.5 years. A 10% interest for 2.5 years. Okay, so that is now this is 105, so that's 525. So that's answer option 2, the answer option 2. Now this is one way of solving the conventional method. Okay, now what I have alternate, it is not a great shortcut, but the prerequisite is that we need to know what is called as a multiplying equivalent. Okay, so for understanding what is multiplying equivalent, I've put a video for percentages. The link to that is given in the description below. You can make use of it. Now this 5% for 4 years. Okay, so you can even call it, so 5% for 4 years. Okay, so you can just take it together and say 20%, or you can say 1 Okay, you can either say it is 1/5 or you can say it is 1/5 more than the actual principal. Okay, okay. So see 5% into 4. Okay, it is like 20%. So I can say that a 20% more than the original principal. Now that is equal to 504. Now what I want is a 10% for 2.5 years, that is like a 25%. Okay, so which I can write it as, so if 1.2p is this, what is 1.25 of p? Okay, what is 1.25 of p? Okay, now from the answer choice, okay, so of course one way to solve this is solve for p and then get the value. The other way of doing this is, anyhow we know this is not the answer, because the answer should be more than 500. The answer should be more than 500. Okay, uh, right? So it should be either 525 and or 550. Okay, it should be either option 1 or option 2. Now see, now this is 1.2 to 1.25. It is just a 5% increase. Now just a 5% increase. Okay, when the total value itself is only 500. Okay, now after the increase, the amount itself is only 500. Now this can't be 550. No, that will be like more than 10%. Okay, so that kind of high is not possible. So 550 is ruled out. So 525. No, see the advantage, the whole advantage of why I am saying this method is that now using this, you can solve it in like few seconds. Okay, so maximum in 5 seconds you can just click the answer. Now 5 into 4 is 20. 2.5 into 10 is 25, and then you can just click and move on, right? So it's the easy. Now but if you're not comfortable, okay, if you're not comfortable, just go ahead with the conventional method and then solve it. No issues at all. Only thing is that just make it quick, right? So now this is question number. Now coming to the second question, we have to find ascending order. Okay, that is from the smallest we should go to the largest. Okay, ascending order, smallest to largest. Now if you look at the answer choices, it is very clear the difference between the numerator and the denominator is 2. In fact, they have given like the same numbers. One thing is, of course, you can find the value of 7 by 9, 9 by 11, decimal value of 7 by 9, 9 by 11, 11 by 13 and 13 by 15. That's one way of solving. Okay, the other way is to understand that when you have the difference between numerator and denominator is same, the ones with the least numbers, they will have the smallest numbers. Okay, so actually smallest value. Now if you convert in terms of percentage, or if you write in terms of decimal, now this is 0.77. Okay, now this 13 by 15, now that's 0.86. now everything else is between this 0.77 and 0.86. so we should know that this, the least number here is 0.77, and because why the least number is 0.77, because the numbers, the difference is common. The difference between numerator and denominator is common for all the fractions given here. Okay, so the ones with the smaller numbers, the numerator and denominator having smaller numbers, will have the smaller fractional decimal value. So 7 by 9 is 0.77 and this is 0.86. Now so 7 by 9 should be the first number. Okay, and 13 by 15 should be the last number. Okay, so that's fixed. Now that means all the other options are ruled out. Okay, but you have to ensure that, okay, all the other options are ruled out, because here in this case we are lucky, but we have to ensure that. Okay, now in the second option, for example, if suppose 11 by 13 came first and then 9 by 11, then it is wrong. Okay, so 7 by 9, next fraction is 9 by 11, next fraction is 11 by 13, next fraction is 13 by 15. Now that's the right order. Okay, so answer for question number 2 is the second option. A third question, it's a time and work question. So A is thrice as good as workman as B, which means in terms of number of days, B takes 3 times the days number of taken. See, you know, time and work, number of days, okay, and efficiency are inversely proportional. Number of days and efficiency are inversely proportional. Okay, so if A is thrice as good, means B takes 3 times more time. Okay, so what is given here, together they can finish in how many days? That's a question asked. And another statement is A takes 60 days less than B. So which means A is equal to B minus 60. Now we already have B equal to 3A. So we get A equal to 3A minus 60, right? So 2A equal to 30. So A equal to, 2A equal to 60, A equal to 30, and so from that we can get B equal to 90, right? Now, so together how many days they'll take? 1 by 30 plus 1 by 90. Now that's equal to 90 is the denominator, 3 plus 1. So 4 by 90, that's 22.5. Okay. The last part, okay, now I don't want to elaborate much here, but last part I'll tell you, when you have this twice, thrice, 4 times and so on. Now one quick way to get the answer is, of the two values of 30 and 90, which is the bigger value? 90 is the bigger value. So big value, so the alternate here is that big value by sum of ratios. That would be the answer for together working. So here the bigger value is 90. 90 by, what is the ratio here? 1:3. They are in the ratio 1:3. The number of days or the efficiency, they are in the ratio 1:3. So 90 by 4, 22.5. Same answer. Okay, answer option 1, the third question. The fourth question, selling price is 4 by 3rd of the cost price. Selling price is 4 by 3rd of the cost price. Okay, so you can write selling price is 1.33 of cost price. 1.33 of cost price. Again, for this you have to refer to the percentage video, right? So what is the meaning of this? 1.33, it's 33% more than the cost price. 33%. So in terms of profit, in terms of profit, selling price is something over the cost price. Okay, in terms of loss, something is lesser than the cost price. So here it is 1.33 over the cost price. So it is 33.33%. Okay, right. Otherwise, if you want to write it conventionally, which is going to be a definite waste of time, what you have to do? Selling price is equal to profit plus cost price. Okay, now that way you have to take and then proceed. That's going to be anyhow, it's a waste of time, but if you want to proceed, you can go ahead and do, no issues. So that's answer option 2 for the percentage question here. If there are if two numbers are 20% and 50% of a number, what percentage is the first number of the second number? So let's assume that number is 100 and the first number is 20%, right? So we can just 20% of 100 is 20 and the second number is 50%. Okay, so 50% of 100 is 50, right? Now what percentage is the first number of the second number? Now, so which means with respect to the second number, which is 50, what is the first number? Okay, and they have asked in terms of percentage. So 20 out of 50. Okay, so this we know it's twice. So 20 into 2, 40%. That's answer option 3 for question number 3. A very simple question. Now question number 6. 7 times a 2-digit number is equal to 4 times the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. If whenever first we write the 2-digit number, we know we should express it in the form 10x plus y. Okay. Now this says 7 times a 2-digit number is equal to 4 times the number obtained by, okay, so 7 times this is equal to 4 times the number obtained by reversing. So reversing means unit digit becomes the tens digit and tens digit becomes the unit digit, like this. Okay. Now if the difference between the digits given 2-digit number is 3, that is x minus y is equal to 3 or y minus x is equal to 3, whatever. Okay, then what is the sum of the digits? Sum of the digits. Okay, now let's try to solve this. So this is 70x plus 7y is equal to 40y plus 4x. So we get 66x is equal to 33 y. So we get 2x equal to y. So we also have x minus y equal to 3. So we get x minus 2x is equal to 3. Okay. So x equal to 3, and so y is equal to 6. Okay. So the number is 63. The 2-digit number is 63. Okay. So which means they have asked for sum of the digits. So 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. That's answer option 2. I'm sorry. That's answer option 2 for question number 6. Now the 7th question. Okay, now this is a question on simplification. So we know the we should apply the BODMAS rule here. So again, here they're not even asked the precise value, but they've just asked the approximate value. But the given range is all very close. Okay, so we know the BODMAS rule, which is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so first, like let us consider this 3.5 minus 1.5 is 2. Now 1.2 divided by 2. So you have 1.2 divided by 2. So that's equal to 0.6. Okay, so 7 minus 0.6, that's 6.4. Okay, so this whole part, okay, this part results with 6.4. Now, and here we have 3 minus, so 3 minus 0.125, I can write it as 1 by 8. Okay, so this 3 minus 1 by 8 into 6.4, I can, for convenience, I can write it as 64 by 10. I can write it as 64 by 10. So this is like 8 times. Okay, and this is 4 by 5. Okay, so it is 3 minus 4 by 5. So what I have is 5.5 minus 3 minus 4 by 5, that's 11 by 5. So numerator, what do I have? I have this 5.5, I can write it as 11 by 2 minus 11 by 5. So the denominator is like 10. So it is 55 minus 22, that's 33 by 10. Okay, so that's approximately 3.3. I mean, that's exactly 3.3. Okay, that's exactly 3.3 for the numerator. Now let's come to the denominator. Denominator is much more easy. 0.4 into 2.5 is 1. 2 minus 1 will result in 1. 3 plus that 1 would be 3. Now this whole part is 1, results in 1, and 3 plus 1 would be 4, and 1 divided by 4, and this 1.25 I can write it as 5 by 4. So 5 by 4 minus 1 divided by 4, I can write it as 1 by 4. So 5 by 4 minus 1 by 4 is 1. 5 by 4 minus 1 by 4 is 1. So we have 33 by 10 in the numerator, whole divided by the denominator is 1. So what results is 3.3. Now among the given options, it is answer choice 2 for the given question, question number 7. So you can expect in some papers I even found like 2 simplification questions for some candidates. So this is a good possibility. Now question number 8. In a 90-liter solution, acid and water are in the ratio 2:1. To make the ratio of acid and water ratio as 1:2, how many liters of water should be added? Okay, so now you can use the alligation method. I'll tell you first what is the alligation method. So let's say you have 2 items A and B whose cost are small a and small b. You mix them, let the mix be m, Now take the difference between these B and M, you write it here. Take the difference between M and A, you write it here. Now the ratio in which the two items are mixed is given by B minus M by M minus A. Okay, now coming to this question here, in the first part, okay, so you have a 90-liter solution wherein the acid and water in the ratio are, now we are adding water in the second thing, right? So we can take only, let's take the water ratio. So first it is 1 by 3, that is 2:1 ratio. So in terms of proportion, we should take the proportion here. So proportion is 1 by 3. So 2:1. Now this is acid and this is water. So water is 1 out of 3. So 2 parts of acid and 1 part of water. 2 parts of acid and 1 part of water. I am taking only water. So water is 1 by 3. And then next one, how many liters of water should be added, which means I am adding only water. So that is 100% water. So only water is there, means like that is 100% water. So 100% you can write it as, so the proportion is full 1. Okay, but how many liters I don't know, that we are to find. Now after that, when we mix, what about the mixture? In mixture, the ratio of acid and water is 1:2, which means 1 part of acid and 2 parts of water. So water is 2 out of 3. Now I have to take the difference. So difference between 1 and 2 by 3 is 1 by 3, and the difference between 1 by 3 and 2 by 3 is 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3 is, now that's 1 by 3. Okay, so that means they should be mixed in the ratio 1:1. That is 1 by 3 by 1 by 3. They should be mixed in the ratio 1:1. So answer is answer option 3, 90 for this question. Answer option 3, 90 is the answer for question number 8. Now without this, okay, now let's say you are not comfortable with alligation method. Now how to solve this? You know the equation method, that is so you have 90-liter solution, of which acid is 60 liters and water is 30 liters. Okay, now what you have is this 30-liter water plus you are adding x liter of water. Now this together is how much? Water is 2/3. Finally it is 2/3 of this 90 plus x. Okay, now just proceed and solve. If you solve, you will get x equal to 90 again. Okay, so 30 plus x equal to 2/3 of 90 plus x. So that would be 90 again. So that's the alternate way of solving. Okay, based question, we have been given two triangles. One triangle where all three sides are equal, let's call it as triangle T1, and there is another triangle where the sides are 50, 80 and 120, and it is given that area of triangle T1 is 3√5 times area of triangle T2. And first it is better to find the area of triangle T2 because we have all the three sides given. So we can use the formula. There are many formulas for area of triangle. One of the formulas is root of the semi perimeter into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So if we use that, first to find the semi perimeter, the sides are 50, 80 and 120. So together it is 250. 250 by 2 is 125. So the area would be root of 125 into 75 into 45 into 5. Now this 125 into 5 is 625, which root 625 is 25. So I'll write 25 outside, and in 75, now this is 5 square into 3. So I'll take 5 outside, and in 45 it is 3 square into 5. So I'll take 3 outside, and then I'll be left with root 3 into root 5. So together it is root 15. Now this is the area of this 25 into 5 into 3, that's 375 is the area of the other square. So area of T1 would be 3 into root 5 into 375 into 375 root 15. So now root 5 and root 5 will be 5. So 3 into 5 into 375 into root 3. So I'll just keep it as it is. Finally, we want only the perimeter of the first triangle, perimeter of T1. So now what we have is, so for perimeter we need the sides. Root 3 by 4, since triangle 1 is an equilateral triangle, we know the formula for equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 a square. So root 3 by 4 a square is equal to this 3 into 5 into 375 into root 3. So this root 3 and root 3 gets cancelled. So we get a square is equal to 3 into 5 into 375 is 15 into 25. So 25 into this 4 in the denominator, I'll write it here. Okay. So this is 15 and 15. Now if I want to write a, that is take the square root. Now 15 is there twice, so I'll write 115. 25 is 5 square, so I'll write a 5. And 4 is 2 square, so I'll write a 2. So it is 150. So a, so side a is 150. Now like that, when we talk about the perimeter, it is 150 into 3. Totally it is 450. The perimeter is 450, and the cost for 1 meter is 105. The cost for 1 meter is 105. So 450 into 105. Now that's answer choice 3. That's answer choice 3. Now how did I calculate 45 into 105 is this? See, now I have not actually calculated. The trick is, we know the last digit is 0. But then there are, so which means option 4 is ruled out. Now among the remaining, now if you leave out 0, after that if you see, you have 45 into 105. So the tens digit should be 5. The unit digit is 0. The tens digit should be 5. There is only one option like that. So this is how you have to make it quick. So answer is answer option 3 for question number 9. Otherwise, even if there are multiple options like that, you can still easy to calculate 450 into 105. Okay, the answer is 47250. Answer option 3 for question number 9. Okay, question number 10. So walking 3/4 hours usual speed, Raghu is 45 minutes late to his office. What is the usual time? So see, one way of solving this is, if speed and time are inversely proportional. Okay, now here this is a question where distance is constant. So if speed is 3/4, time would be 4 by 3. So 4/3 of time is equal to this time plus extra time plus 45 minutes. Okay, so 1/3 of that time is 45 minutes. So the time taken is 135 minutes, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is answer option 1. This is one way of solving. The other way of solving, there is something called as the product, like a constant rule. There is a short video which I have done. The link to that is given there. Here in the description, you can make use of it. Okay, so that's a wonderful shortcut. So here you have product of two numbers equal to a third number, and the third number is constant. Okay, now these two numbers are varying. So here what is happening? The speed is getting reduced by 1 by 4. The speed is getting reduced by 1 by 4, which means the time will increase by 1 by 3. The time will increase by 1 by 3. So that 1/3 of time is equal to 45 minutes. So the total time taken is 135 minutes, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now to understand the second method clearly, so it's a short video, which means it's a less than 1 minute video. You can just go through that. The answer option is 1. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now question number 11, the last question. So 3 persons, they spend like 80%, 85% and 75% of their salaries, and the sum of their salaries is 72,000. So A plus B plus C is 72,000, and so if they are spending 80% and 15%, I mean 85% and 75%, what is remaining is 20% and 15% and 25% is remaining. Now that ratio is 8:9:20. That is 20% 15%, I mean 20% of A and 15% of B and 25% of C. Now that's 8:9:20. Okay, so if you simplify, you can write 5 is common, so you can write 4A, 3B and 5C. 4A, 3B and 5C. Now that is in the ratio 8:9:20. So we can directly write A is 2, B is 3 and C is 4. Okay, so that means 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 2x plus 3x plus 4x. Now that's equal to 72,000. So totally 9x is equal to 72,000. So x equal to 8,000. And what we want is salary of A, which is 2x. A we know it's 2x. So 2 into 8,000, the answer is answer option 1. 16,000 is the answer for question number 11. Okay, with this we have come to the end of this video. I hope my methods were useful. If you found this video useful, please press the like button and also share it with your friends. Now if you have any questions or doubts, please post your questions, doubts in the comment section below. And if you want me to solve any other paper also, please send in a link. I'll be very happy to do that. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day.